are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great, man. Doing great. I am looking at this right now. My eyes, I do not believe it. Four banners tonight, and from what I've seen, this looks incredibly interesting for a Commands and Colors Ancients scenario, and I know there must be a very cool story to go with it, so I believe it is your turn this evening.
So tonight's battle takes place during and after Caesar's actions in Spain that we played last week. While Caesar is on his way to Spain to root out Pompey's leaderless forces there, some of his legates are fighting in the Mediterranean and in North Africa. One of his lieutenants, Varus, has taken Sardinia with the 16th Legion, while another lieutenant, Curio, has claimed Sicily with the combined mights of the 15th and 17th Legions. Together, they combine their forces in Sicily and bring in the 20th Legion from Italy, so they have about 4 legions and 1,500 cavalry on the cusp of invading North Africa. Now, why is this important to Caesar? Well, along with Sardinia and Sicily, North Africa is one of the biggest suppliers of grain feeding the Roman Republic at the time. It is the breadbasket of the empire. But so taking this territory gives Caesar control of all the major grain centers, ensuring that he can supply his armies throughout the war and robbing Pompey of any opportunity to starve him out of Italy. Command of this invasion was assigned to Gaius Curio, and we're not going to see him tonight in this little action, but let me give you a little bit of a background here. Curio is not a general. He's a skilled politician. He actually starts his career as one of Caesar's opponents, but winds up siding with him in the Civil War, more to do with his friendship with Mark Antony and Claudius, and possibly even a bribe from Caesar than any loyalties he might feel towards him. Some evidence suggests that Caesar might have paid off some of Curio's considerable debts, thus putting him in his service. To compensate for this lack of experience, Caesar is assigned a body of legates to Curio, including Regulus, one of the legates who served Caesar in Gaul. Also, the legions that Curio is commanding are relatively fresh. They've all just been raised in the past few months for this action, because Caesar's taking all of his best troops with him to Spain, and then Pompey took all of his best troops with him to Greece. So Caesar realizes that the forces that Curio will be facing in Africa will probably be just as raw. Curio did not want to invade Africa without first hearing news from Spain about Caesar's progress there, just in case his forces got called to that theater to aid Caesar. Africa at the time is under the control of Publius Atticus Varus, and Varus had previously been magistrate of this province. So when he arrives there, he's dismayed to find that it's woefully unprepared for war, with only 1 legion present. He immediately takes control, reinforces the province, raises 2 more legions, and encamps them outside the city of Utica. He also requests the aid of the king of Numidia, Juba, is an old ally of Pompey's, and he hates both Caesar and Curio because they both insulted him in the past. Caesar had insulted him by pulling on his beard during a trial, and Curio had just dismissed him and openly proposed in the Senate that Numidia should just be sold. So he hates those guys, and he's more than happy to throw in with Varus against Caesar and his forces. In late August, after receiving word of Caesar's victory in Spain, Curio begins his crossing into Africa. Now, at this point, he doesn't really think a whole lot of his opponents, so he doesn't even bring his full forces. He only brings 2 legions and 500 cavalry, but he does bring a sizable navy. He lands at Aquileia, which is between Utica and Hadrianum. He decides to engage the larger force first, so he marches towards Utica, reaching the river Gratus. And there'll be another fight in this battle later on in this series. He leaves Regulus there in charge and takes the cavalry ahead to scout an old fortification known as the Castra Cornelia. It's on a small elevated peninsula overlooking Utica. It's about 3 miles away. And from this higher ground, he gets a good idea of what Varus is up to. Now, Varus's camp is in a very strong position. They've got the walls of Utica on one side, and then the outdoor amphitheater of Utica on the other. So the approach to Varus's camp is narrow and well defended. However, while observing the town, Curio notices a large number of supplies being brought into the city from the local refugees. So looking to hamper his supplies and take some from himself, he sends his cavalry to attack. Now Varus is quick to react, sends his own force of 600 Numidian horsemen to defend these caravans. The cavalry races ahead and clashes with the Roman cavalry, but the Numidians are lightly armed and they are quickly beat back. This allows Curio to capture a lot of the supplies that Varus was dependent upon. In the meantime, his substantial navy sails around to the port, which harbors about 200 merchant ships, but Pompey's got no naval vessels there. So all these merchant ships are unprotected. So Curio sends a proclamation declaring that any merchant ship that does not transfer their supplies over to Curio will be treated as an enemy, boarded, and seized. So all of the merchants leave the harbor, sail on the other side of the peninsula, and give all of their supplies to Curio. So he's off to a really good start. He returns to Bagrada with news of his achievements, and the troops are ecstatic. They declare he is Imperator, which is like a title an army will give a general when he's doing well. It's like an attaboy, I guess. And when you're getting the title Imperator, this acclamation is required for a general to go back to the Senate and declare his triumph. So the troops have to tell the general that, yes, you've done good, and now you can get paid. So there you go. That's pretty forward thinking there on the Romans' part.
Absolutely.
So the next day, he moves his army to go on the offense to attack the camp just outside of the town of Utica. He pitches camp and, just like Caesar did last week, digs a big ditch and all of this. But while he's building this camp, he learns of a large Numidian force commanded by Juba's general Subura. Now, Curio had failed to scout ahead, so he didn't realize this force was coming. So he quickly orders his men to abandon construction of the camp and form up battle lines, and then sends his cavalry forward in a delaying action. And that's what we're going to do tonight, is this small, quick delaying action. Now, as you can see here on the board, the Numidians aren't in a tight formation, so they're very vulnerable to the cavalry charges. And as soon as Curio's cavalry engages, the Numidians flee to Utica, followed swiftly by their infantry, pretty much allowing them to get harried and butchered by the Roman cavalry. However, the bulk of the Numidian forces are successfully going to make it into the camp. So it's really not so much of a retreat, even though Caesar in his writings would have you believe so, more or less a tactical withdrawal on behalf of the Numidians. Because probably at this point, the Numidians weren't really looking for a fight. They were just looking to hook up with their forces in the city. So after this quick little action that we're going to play tonight, the following day, before Curio can even attack, 2 of his centurions and 22 of his men defect to Varus and tell Varus that Curio's army don't have faith that he can pull this off. Now, no one really knows for sure quite why these guys did it. I mean, honestly, as we've already established, even though he's not really a good general, Curio's done a pretty good job of setting all this up. Most people believe it's because these forces come from combined forces originally, and that these guys had already fought together and they didn't want to fight each other. So some of Curio's forces left to go join Varus' forces because they didn't want to fight guys they knew. So that's where we're at tonight.
Excellent.
So why don't you tell us how this interesting little scenario is going to play out? Because it's neat.
It is neat. I will be glad to. I'm opening the War Council here, which I've got pre-prepared. Now, one thing to keep in mind for this game is it was, I guess, created not only as a precursor to the next scenario for next week, but it's also meant to be a solo endeavor. So if you're just wanting to try a few things, you can play as the Romans and use the randomness of chance to control the Numidians, but we're going to do it actually as a two-player game tonight, and I'll walk us through this. So I will start with the Numidian army, and I will have Sabura as my leader. I will get no command cards, so I draw nothing. I will be using dice for all of my orders tonight. And the Caesarian army will be under Peter's leadership with Curio as the cavalry lieutenant. And he will have 6 command cards, so definitely spoiling for a fight. And they will get to move first. And as you can see, this is an oh-so-brief 4-banner battle. So I suspect that both of these plays back-to-back will probably not be as long as the very fine research that you conveyed to us. I would be very surprised if these go more than 10 to 20 minutes each. But the special rules on this one, for Utica, this is, as I mentioned, it was created sort of as a solo playthrough. As the Numidian leader, on my turn, I will roll the 2 dice, and depending on what I get, that is what I am able to do. And to keep this, I guess, as intended for if we are playing it as 2 players, all the positive things that I would get to activate being the green circle, blue triangle, red square, or leader helmet, I will get to choose which of my units that I want to activate with those. The negative consequences being the flag or the cross swords, Peter will get to choose those as the Roman player. So if he rolls a bunch of flags very quickly, or if I roll the flags and he chooses to route some of my cavalry units right off the board, then this will be extremely quick tonight. But as you can see there with the listing, the corresponding colors will activate a unit of that type. A leader helmet will be the leader unit and the one that he's associated with. Or if he's by himself, he can also just be able to move on his own. And then a flag will be one of Peter's choosing. One unit will have to retreat, even if it's up against the back lane, the back row. That would do the same normal consequences of that retreat. It's a blocked retreat path. They will incur block losses as per usual. And if it is cross swords, then he gets to choose a unit, and they will lose 1 block from that unit. And the river, the Bagradas River over here, is completely impassable. So that left side, as we saw previously in another scenario, is more or less shut down for the Numidians. I don't think there's going to be much going on over there. So I'm intrigued by this. I was about to open my player card window to draw cards, but I am not going to do that. So you, as the Romans, get to go first, so I will wish you good luck here. I don't think you need it, but may the force be with you.
Well, we'll see how this goes. This is it's interesting. Very interesting. So I'm going to start this card and activate this block here.
How very curious. Sorry.
So the light cavalry can go 1, 2, 4. We just go 1, 2, 3, and do that. Okay. So with leader support, my light cavalry will attack yours.
And I will choose to evade that, as the light cavalry always have the opportunity to do, so we're not going to make this easy for you.
All right, 2 dice. Nothing. All right. And these guys will turn their attention to the mediums and roll 3 dice with leader support. Get a hit.
Right, and I will give you 3 right back. And get a hit and a retreat. Huzzah!
You and these flags. Better hope you don't roll them when it's your turn.
This is true.
All right, and then the leader will follow up and try and take him out. Let's go, Lieutenant. Uh-oh.
1 hit. All right, here we go. 3 back. Come on, baby. 3 back. We got a hit, too. Scoring a hit. Yay. Let's do a leader check. He is fine. Okay. Big money, big money. Here's my roll. I get to activate 1 heavy and 1 medium. Well, that's fine. I will move this one and this one. And we will have them go 1, 2, and 3. And we are not under Julian rules, so these are standard heavies, sadly.
Yep.
They only get to move 1.
These are all raw
Yes,
recruits.
indeed.
They are not the well-disciplined forces that Caesar's been fighting with.
Right. That is all for me.
Okay. I'm going to play this card.
1 unit of your choice.
Yes. Get this guy. 1, 2, 3. Get him back there.
Right. Fortunes of War, what do you have for me? Oh!
On.
Well, which one would you like?
All right, so 1 unit. Select a full move.
You got a free block on at least 3 of them.
Yeah, let's
4.
get rid of this medium up
The
here.
full one?
Yeah.
I figured that one. Probably should have moved them off the line, but that's okay. And then these guys will just move to there. All right.
Okay. So now I do this. There we go.
Boo!
Okay.
Boo!
Let's try and cut those guys down with 3 dice and leader support. 1 hit.
Hit. Don't give you 2 back. Getting 1 hit.
Okay, the light cavalry will attack with 2 dice and leader support. Nothing.
2 back. Nothing.
I don't know if I want to do this. All right, 3 dice from the lieutenant.
There you go.
That's what I needed. And he will advance.
Okay.
My kingdom for a cavalry charge or mounted charge. Line command. Line command.
Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the units that we will burn. Oh!
Man, Sabura just is in this fight.
He is.
All right, so crossed swords. 1 block is removed from any one selected unit.
Yes. Which one would you like, I wonder?
That one.
Yeah, I figured. All right, Sabura moves up. Brave, but his delaying action is costly. All right.
All right. Targeting that auxilia with 2 dice on leader support. Got the leader hit.
And we'll give you 3 back. Hit.
And 3 dice down with leader support.
Another hit.
Just the 1 hit.
Come on, boys. Cut them down. We cut them down. Hurrah. What do I get? Ah, Sabura. Okay, let's do this. Let's have Sabura move to here, and the heavies move there. Okay.
Okay.
It's knocking on the door.
And let's see if I can put a pin in this. Those two. I'm going to Auxilia again. 2 dice. Whiffed.
No, oh, that's right. They're light calves. All right, 3 back. Come on, boys. Get a hit and a retreat.
All right. Come on, Lieutenant.
Ah, so close. All right. Well, yay! That was that was 12 minutes, I think.
So I have a hand of center. No,
No, that's right.
line command.
Huh.
Uh,
Boy.
ooh.
All right. Well, that was quick and easy. Let's switch sides while you destroy the board. And we will be right back.
I am virtually flipping the table.
That's right. We will be right back with round number 2. We are back with round number 2. Can we beat our record?
Yes.
How many cards do I get? 6?
6.
All right.
6. Hopefully you'll get something that's a little bit more useful than I have.
Okay.
But and you get to go first. So
Okay.
not that you'll need it, but good luck.
Why, thank you.
I think it's a foregone conclusion that the Caesarians are going to win this fight. The trick is, how many banners can the Numidians make them pay for
That's
that
right.
victory?
That's right. I got 1 on you. Hooray. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to keep it 4-1, 4-1, and then, then at least we'd be equal. All right, let's do.
And to be fair, I got 2 of those blocks through your dice rolls.
That's
not
true.
Not my great generalship. So
That is correct. Okay.
3 on the right.
So let's do 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay. So we will start with this. Let's see what we get. They will evade.
Will evade.
Yes. So a 3 dice, green circles only. Getting 1. Okay. And then these guys do have a shot. They moved, so they'll throw 1 die at your light cav. Hurrah! Okay. Okay, and that is all.
Oh, which one were you throwing at? The one that you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, same guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because either way, you're destroying a block.
Yeah. Okay. So that's draw back up.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to take a page from your book, but I'm going to do it a little early.
Okay.
Let's get Sabura on a horse. Let's get those guys going. Those other cards, they are useless.
We'll do 3 on the left. And
I killed for one of those.
yeah, get these guys moving. 2. Actually, these guys can go there, and there can go there. Okay. All right. Try that on your light cav. He
Roll evade again.
fritters away. 3 dice, green circles. Nothing. All right.
Actually, let's do that instead.
Okay. And then we'll go after them with the other light cav. What would they like to do? We'll stand this time. Okay. 2 dice. Nothing.
2 dice back.
Nothing.
Nothing. All right, speaking of 2 dice, crossed swords. So you get to remove 1 block from any selected unit.
Okay. We will remove it from light cav, or the medium cav right there adjacent to my light cav. That one.
This one?
That one, yep.
Okay. And I get to activate a green. I think. Let's roll the dice figuratively here. 2 dice against your light cavalry. What would they like to do?
I think they will evade.
Okay. All right, then. We're done.
I think we will do a line command.
Hmm.
And we'll activate this one here. He will go to there. Oops. And attack with 3 dice plus leader bonus. Getting 2 hits.
Back at you with 3 dice. Oh, a hit and a retreat.
There we go. 1, 2, and 3. All right.
Okay, and I'm activating. I presume you want to get rid of this guy?
Yes, the 1 block medium. Yep. To
Ouch.
Yeah.
Man. There you go. That's the perfect card for this.
Yep.
Ouch.
Oops. Okay. Let's start with this here.
All right.
3 dice plus leader. I'll do it. And after you're at a light. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot. We can advance and battle again. So they will,
Good point.
they will attack them. Let's see what happens. What would they? Ah, yes, evade. All right, 3 dice, looking for green circles only. Yeah, that's right. And up here, we have this one. Also evading. 3 dice, green circles. Get 1. And I believe that is all.
Okay. So right now, you've got the edge. I need to get at least 1 block to tie things up. See what the dice will give me.
Oh no!
Failure.
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 Uh,
Good game, Patrick.
yes, thank you. So we will officially we'll take that one. Sabura would not run away. We know that. So, well, there you go, folks. We hope you we hope you enjoyed your 35-minute aperitif this evening to whet your appetite and a amuse bouche for next week's big battle of Utica. I presume there's probably going to be city walls and stuff. I have not looked ahead, but yeah, I know that's going to be probably center to this. But what do you think? Officially now, the final score then was 5 blocks to 4 blocks. So I take it by one. But as you said, it's kind of predisposed for the Romans to clean up on this one. I would love to. I need to go back and look at the commandsandcolors.net and see if it is in fact like 99% Roman. So, what are your thoughts?
It is what it is. There's not a whole lot of tactics here you can squeeze out of the Numidians. When half of the things you roll are going to destroy your units. So,
Right.
Well, not quite half. Two of the 4. So, yeah. So, yeah, but still, ugh.
Now,
Gross.
one thing you could potentially do to house rule this completely is to make it so that no matter what the die roll is, the Numidian player gets to choose. He has to make hard choices to be sure, but you would see him retreating. And I don't know if that was the original intent. If it is a two-player game, that perhaps, oh, I got a flag. Okay, I'm going to retreat one of my auxilia, which only move back one. Whereas it's much more punitive when your opponent picks, yes, the cavalry's gone, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sure if we played it again that way, both sides, completely different game, to be sure.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll get this up and out there for everyone. So if you enjoyed this quick little battle, make sure you like, subscribe, share, let everybody know what we're doing over here at Patrick's Tactics and
Tutorials.
Yeah,
Yes.
tutorials.
But just Patrick Tactics to his friends, right? Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
We're out on the Twitterverse now. We're trying to use this social media stuff because that's what we do. But yes, as Peter said, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope we left you wanting more, and come on back next week. If this is your first episode ever, we apologize for the brevity of it, but they are much longer, usually about an hour. We will jump right into it next week with the Battle of Utica Part 2. Electric Boogaloo. I have to say that. I am obligated to say that. But click like and subscribe, as Peter said, and we look forward to seeing you here next week. And that comment section is for you. You can tell us why why you think this game is so short, this scenario, and why they perhaps even designed it. I'm curious about that myself. So if I run into Richard Borg here in the next year or so, I'm going to ask him. It's like, what's the deal with Utica Part 1 delaying action? So
You gotta fill that book. You gotta fill that scenario
that's
book.
right. Paying by the page. Well, great game tonight, sir, and I will see you next week.
All right. Good night.
Good night.